They didn't just want you to struggle, they needed you to break. Your growth, your glow, your strength. It reminded them of everything they were never going to be. And now that truth is like a spotlight in a room full of people trying to hide. They didn't just try to ruin your name, they aimed to crush your spirit. This wasn't just drama or petty nonsense. This was a full-blown attack that came wrapped in smiles, polite talk, and fake care. They weren't simply trying to hold you back. They set up the whole stage for your downfall, wrote the story, acted innocent, and made you look like the problem. But now the mask is off. Everyone sees it. The games, the secrets, the fake love. It's not whispers anymore. It's out in the open. The world is catching on. Before we break this all down, go ahead and like this video and hit that subscribe button. You're not just showing love, you're helping push this message out to more chosen ones who need to hear it. Every click you make helps them wake up, see clearly, and remember who they are. The system doesn't know it, but what you're doing here is helping start a wave. So hit that button. Then let's go in deeper. Being chosen isn't about feeling special or being praised. It's heavy. It means life marked you for something big. It means you were sent here carrying energy this world wasn't ready for. And the truth is, the ones who fought you the hardest weren't even fighting you. They were fighting what you carry. The mistake they made was thinking they could win against something that isn't even about just you. This thing is bigger than them, and they had no idea what they were messing with. They tried to bury your voice in confusion. They tried to silence your truth, cut off your support, and trap you in loneliness. But here's what they missed. Quiet moments grow deep roots. And being in the dark builds warriors. While they were laughing at your tears, you were getting stronger. They thought space would weaken you, but it only made you more powerful. So stop doubting yourself. Stop wondering if you're lost. You're not lost. You were picked for this life because you carry what others can't. You hold a kind of truth that shakes the fake to their core. Just being you makes their lies shake. That's why they tried to erase you so hard. You were never by yourself. You were being shaped. And now that the universe is moving again, it's not you that needs to be afraid. It's them. You don't need to get even. You are the effect. Your comeback is the result of every night you cried quietly. Every time you got stabbed in the back and chose not to hit back. Every fake friend you walked away from without making a scene. That's your power now. You're rising. And you don't need anyone's okay to do it. Think about that. How powerful must your energy be if they plan for years to shut it down? That kind of fear doesn't come from someone average. That's what it means to be chosen. It follows them. Your name still shakes them up. Your growth keeps them up at night. They built fake stories, but you were built in storms. And storms don't need permission. They just show up. So keep watching. This is just getting started. And before we go even deeper, I want you to do something bold. If you've ever been betrayed, loved by people who turned on you, or targeted just for existing, I want you to drop the number 77 in the comments. That's how I know you're locked in. That's how we send a sign that more chosen ones are waking up. The longer you stay tapped in here, the clearer everything's going to become. This isn't just a story. This is your life reflected in the fire. Let's break it all down. If you really are chosen, you won't turn away now. Let's start here. When someone digs a grave for a chosen one, they better make it deep, because sometimes it's them who ends up in it. They weren't afraid of you being weak. They were scared of the day you'd realize how strong you are. They didn't think you'd get this far. Not because you couldn't, but because they were hoping you wouldn't wake up. They counted on your silence, your confusion, your tiredness. They thought that if they played God in your life long enough, you'd stop believing in yourself. But here's the truth. They were never battling just you. They were up against something way bigger, and that never ends well for them. This group, that so-called family, those fake people who acted like they had your back, they weren't just fake. They were calculated. They moved carefully, smiled to your face, then worked behind the scenes. They played a game with powers they didn't understand. They tried to twist life like it was a board game, thinking they could skip steps and cheat their way through. And for a little while, they thought they were getting away with it. They lied, twisted facts, told half-truths, and painted you as the bad one, all to make themselves look better. But guess what? The universe watches. It doesn't move fast, but when it moves, it hits hard. And that's what's happening right now. Everything you went through, the quiet pain, That's now turning into loud proof. The hurt they caused is bouncing back like a mirror, showing them what they really are. The same shadows they used to hide behind are turning on them. One by one, the truth is dragging them out. This isn't just payback. This is a reset. And when the universe resets, it doesn't need your permission. It just does what needs to be done. Let's be clear, being chosen isn't about luck, it's about strength. You were picked because you could carry what most people would break under. You made it through things that would crush someone else. That's not a gift. That's pressure. That's why you felt tired. That's why you questioned everything. You wondered, why me? Why the heartbreak? Why the betrayal? Why the lonely nights? Here's why: because your presence messed up their game. You showed up with a light they couldn't fake and a soul they couldn't copy. And people like that, they panic when the real thing shows up. So they tried to ruin your name, push you out, turn everyone against you. And still you're standing. Your survival is the part they can't explain. You making it this far? That's the twist they never saw coming. That's why things are falling apart for them now. Because when truth shows up, it doesn't knock. It kicks the door wide open. And for them, time's up. The same people who talked behind your back are now struggling to hide from the truth. The same ones who tried to throw dirt on you are now caught in the mess they made. You don't have to do anything. Just stay grounded. You are the storm they didn't prepare for. That shift you feel in the air, that's the universe stepping in. That's energy moving back to where it belongs. People forget when you're chosen. You don't move alone. Everything starts working to protect you, to clear the lies, to destroy the fake stuff. And when it's your time, it doesn't sneak in, it comes in fast and loud and doesn't stop. So for the chosen ones still doubting, this is not the time to hide. This is your time to step into everything you are. Stop feeling bad for not being easy to fool. Stop holding back just to make weak people feel better. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to expose what was fake. You keep wondering why they come at you so hard. Why they lie. Why they try to block you. The answer is simple. You remind them of what they don't have. You remind them that their power is stolen. Their image isn't real. And their position was never earned. You are the real version. They copied your style, but they never had your strength. So let them talk. Let them panic. Let them try to explain how someone they tried to bury is now standing in full alignment. You don't owe them silence. You don't owe them doubt. You owe it to yourself to show up with your whole truth. One more thing. Don't regret being isolated. That quiet space, that wasn't rejection, that was protection. You had to be taken out of the noise so you could hear yourself again. And now that you hear your voice clearly, don't shut it down for anyone. Use it, let it push you, because the same people who laughed when you were down are now being exposed by the way you're rising. That's real balance, not revenge, not payback, just facts, just truth. Loud, clear, and impossible to ignore. Everything they built off lies is falling apart. Not because you fought them, but because the truth finally got louder than the lies. That's what happens when chosen ones stop sleeping on themselves. To the ones who tried to control your path, now you're the story they can't hide. The moment they lost was the exact moment the universe imager who it sent into this world. And to all the chosen ones still rising, keep going. You're not too late. You're not broken beyond repair. And you are definitely not alone. The truth isn't just out, it's running wild through everything they built. You were picked for this exact season in your life, so start showing up like it. Now here's something that's been happening behind the scenes. The greater balance that controls everything, it never misses a move. It's been watching this whole time. And now it's time to settle the score. They thought they were outsmarting you. Thought they had it all figured out, playing mind games while pretending to be innocent, quietly making plans to pull you apart. They believed they were way ahead of you, carefully setting up every piece to see you lose. But what they didn't realize was that every step they took against you was being recorded, like a bright red mark in the spiritual system. Every fake smile, every sneaky word, every sneaky plan, they weren't secrets. They were signals. And the universe kept the receipts. All of them. This wasn't just someone turning on you. This was something much deeper. They were running a slow attack, one that didn't need a weapon to hurt. They were trying to drain you in silence, little by little, until you had nothing left. But here's the truth. The universe doesn't miss anything. It doesn't forget. It doesn't need to rush. It waits for the right time. Then when it moves, it hits so hard that no lie can hide behind it. That moment, it's here. They had no clue what they were really messing with. They thought it was just about you, but what they were really fighting was something way bigger. They picked a fight with a higher system, and they lost before it even started. When someone is chosen, they don't walk alone. There's something watching, something protecting, something guiding, and everything they did to you in the dark got stamped, saved, and stored. There's no running from that kind of judgment. This isn't just some simple payback. It's not karma like people usually say. This is the universe putting everything back into place with accuracy. It's not personal, it's balance, it's correction. It's what happens when someone keeps pushing past every warning sign, thinking they'll never get caught. Look at them now. Look closely. You'll see it. The cracks are starting to show. The stress in their faces, the confusion in their stories, the little lies falling apart. That's not bad luck. That's everything catching up with them. Their quiet moments aren't peaceful anymore. They're full of fear. They once stood on power they built out of lies. But that power didn't come from them. It came from twisting your light, from copying your energy, from turning your pain into their spotlight. It was never about truth. It was always about control. And now truth is walking in, heavy boots and all. And their fantasy, it's going up in flames. They thought no one saw what they were doing, but everything was seen. The universe noticed when they acted concerned just to get information. It noticed when they smiled after doing the most damage. It noticed when they sat back and enjoyed your struggle, pretending like they had nothing to do with it. And now the universe is watching them fall apart, one piece at a time. Chosen ones, don't you dare think this is just a lucky break or random chance. You didn't just get through this. You outlasted it. That's real power. That's legacy. You're not rising now because it's finally your turn. You're rising because the damage they caused has a price, and it's time to pay. They thought they could cause all that pain and walk away clean. They were wrong. And remember this, while you were sitting in silence, they were collecting moments, bragging behind closed doors, acting like they'd won something. They turned your pain into a trophy. They told stories about you like they were proud of what they did. But now your healing is louder than all their lies. Your rise is making more noise than all their fake stories. That's what real balance looks like. Not revenge, just everything coming back around. They thought they were standing on solid ground, but it was never solid. It was sand, and now that sand is giving way. Their fake structure is falling down, and there's nothing for them to hold on to. The universe gave them time to fix things, gave them warnings, gave them signs, but they didn't listen. They were too proud. And now they have to deal with what they started. This isn't the time for you to feel sorry. This is the time to watch. Let their collapse remind you of what you always knew but couldn't explain, that you weren't crazy, that you weren't being too sensitive, that what you felt was real. And so is what's happening to them. What they feel now isn't guilt, it's fear. They're scared of being exposed, scared of losing the little image they worked so hard to create, scared that without your light, they'll have nothing left to stand next to. They're not falling because you attacked. They're falling because the lies can't hold them up anymore. This is the Great Reset. At first it's quiet, then suddenly it's too loud to ignore. Just like they moved in silence, the universe is now correcting everything in silence until it breaks through and makes noise too big to hide. You were their target. Now you're the evidence, proof that truth doesn't need to shout, that real energy always shows up in the end, that everything done in the dark eventually gets dragged into the light. And to those who played dirty, look around. The sky didn't fall. You did. Let's move to this next part. The trap they built, it's now the stage of their own collapse. Everyone's watching. They created this setup, hoping to embarrass you, but now the lights turned back on, and they're stuck on center stage. Their whole script, it's backfiring. Every line, every plot, every little setup, they're trapped in it now. The same tools they used to bury you are now showing everyone your truth. They whispered, they spread lies, they moved shady. But instead of shutting you down, it made you stand out. You were supposed to fade. Instead, now they can't forget you. That's not revenge. That's truth doing what truth does, rising whether people like it or not. Here's what they didn't expect. They thought they were writing the last chapter of your story. They believed that if they isolated you long enough, embarrassed you deep enough, and confused your mind just right, they could control the whole situation. But here's the twist. They tried to write your ending without realizing who was holding the real pen. And the universe, it's a better writer than all of them combined. Their systems, their drama chains, their fake friendships, built on ego, all of it was a setup. But they were too full of themselves to see they were building a trap for themselves. Now the walls are closing in. And it's public, it's slow, it's painful. People are watching, and they're starting to ask questions. The version of you they tried to sell, the one they said was unstable, too emotional, too much, it doesn't match up anymore. You're rising, with calm, with clarity, while they scramble, unsure of what to do. You were the message they ignored, the proof they tried to erase, but you're still here. You don't even have to explain anything, just your presence shows the truth. That's how light works. It doesn't fight with darkness. It just shows up. And when it does, darkness has no. It runs. It loses shape. That's what's happening now. You didn't force anything. You just became who you really are. And the system they used to erase you, it's breaking down. It's repeating your name. It's spreading your truth loud, clear, and non-stop. Everything's flipped. The story has changed. The stage they used to control, it's a mess now. And they're stuck in the middle, trying to fix what's already falling apart. To the chosen ones still trying to make sense of everything, this is your confirmation. You were never the problem. You were the one shaking things up. Their panic now, that's the truth they tried to hide finally breaking through. You don't need to fight. You are the reason the lies are crumbling. You don't need to prove anything. The breakdown says it all. And let's stop pretending this is just coincidence. It's not. This is alignment. This is the universe making moves. It gave them space to play pretend, to act, to wear their masks. Then it flipped the switch. Now everyone can see who's who. The masks are slipping, the acts are failing, and the truth is louder than ever. They thought they could beat the system, beat the flow, beat you, but you can't beat what's real. You either move with it or you get pushed out of the way. They moved with fear. You moved with purpose. They talked and talked. You stayed silent, and now that silence is shouting back at them. And for those of you still doubting yourself, listen. If you weren't chosen, they wouldn't have tried so hard to destroy you. People don't spend that kind of energy on someone who isn't a threat to the lies they live in. You walked in carrying truth, and they couldn't handle it. That's why they tried to silence you. That's why they turned on you. And now, this kind of truth is cutting deep. It's showing them that no matter what they tried, they could never change what was already set in motion. So let this play out. Let the systems fall. Let the false stories collapse. Let your name rise from everything they tried to bury it under. Let your light burn through every fake line they ever told. You're not their victim, you're their reminder. And the story isn't done. Not even close. The biggest shift is still happening. The light is still turning. And every time they try to stop you again, your voice will grow louder. Not because you're shouting, but because truth finally speaks for itself. That's not just balance, that's power. And here's the last thing. The fire of truth doesn't ask permission. It doesn't knock. It burns through. And lies, they don't stand a chance. They're like weak spells. They look pretty for a second, but the moment real pressure shows up, they fall apart. No matter how carefully someone builds a fake story, the truth always finds the cracks. And right now, those cracks are breaking open. The truth isn't just here. It's crashing through like a wave, and it's not slowing down. The lies they clung to are falling apart. They shaped their version of the story with borrowed faces, shaky voices, and fake calm. They painted themselves as protectors, as the ones in control when really, they were the cause of the storm the whole time. They were hoping you'd stay quiet, hoping no one would listen, hoping your silence meant weakness. But silence isn't giving up. It's loading up. And now, truth doesn't have to yell anymore. It's here. It's strong. It's loud without saying a word. Watch closely, you'll see the shifts. The way they move differently, the fake smiles, the nervous voices. That's not just stress. That's exposure. And the house they built, it's falling, one brick at a time. You know what's crazy? After a while, they actually started to believe their own lies. They told them so many times, with so much confidence, that they forgot they were made up. They acted like heroes, put on a show, played the part, and even dressed the part. But that's the thing about pretending. When the spotlight stays on too long, you can't fake it anymore. You start to sweat. The mask slips. And now, under the heat of the truth, everything they built is falling apart, piece by piece. Because truth doesn't get old, and it doesn't fade. It waits. And when it shows up, it spreads fast like fire on dry grass. That's what's happening right now. The stories they made to make themselves look good and make you look bad, they're burning to ashes in front of everyone. They tried to paint you as the bad one. They used your emotions against you, twisted your honesty into weakness, told people you were unstable, too dramatic, too much to handle. But now, those same people are starting to open their eyes. Now they're starting to notice. And once the truth starts to land in people's minds, the lies don't stand a chance. Their favorite trick was always distraction, pointing the finger at you, making you look like the issue so they could keep hiding. But truth doesn't get distracted. It cuts right through the noise, quietly, clearly, one exposed message at a time, one contradiction that doesn't make sense, one moment where things don't line up. That's how lies fall apart. Not in some big explosion, but slowly, quietly, falling down in pieces. You can almost see it happening. Their words don't hit the same. Their stories don't match anymore. People are starting to remember what really happened. They're starting to question everything. And once that happens, the game's over. To all the chosen ones out there, don't ever forget how powerful your truth is. You never had to force anything. The energy was always going to catch up. Lies might move fast, but truth moves with purpose. It doesn't rush, it's steady. And when it shows up, it stays. You were never the problem. You were the one holding the mirror, and they couldn't handle seeing themselves for who they really were. The universe doesn't forget. That's why everything is falling apart now. It's not just bad timing. It's not just coincidence. It's what happens when the balance is being restored. Let's be real, some of you still have doubts. You wonder if they're still ahead, still getting away with it, still winning. Let me tell you something. If they were still winning, they wouldn't be panicking. They wouldn't be trying so hard to stay in control. They wouldn't be deleting things, trying to change the story, or silencing people. That's not what power looks like. That's what falling apart looks like. They were never strong, they were just loud. And now even their loudness can't save them. Truth is shining so bright, it's burning through every lie like sunlight burning through fog. So let it all fall, let every fake piece break. Because anything built on lies was never going to last anyway. And once the fire is done, all that's left standing will be what was real the whole time. That's you. They made a throne out of lies, and now it's collapsing under them, one beautiful piece at a time. Sure, you can build something big using stolen pieces, but don't act surprised when the whole thing falls apart. You can feel it in the air, can't you? That strange stillness before things crash. That shift in energy, that pressure building up. Then comes the sound, a creak, a crack, the groaning of something falling apart. That's what's happening now. What you're seeing isn't random. It's not just some meltdown. It's everything they built falling under the weight of truth. They thought nothing could touch them. They believed they were too far ahead, too well protected. They thought they could bend the story however they wanted. But lies don't make strong foundations. And when you build on nothing, the fall is guaranteed. That's what this is. Not just payback. This is a full breakdown. Everything they buried, denied and twisted, is now falling on their heads like bricks in a storm. Their arrogance was huge, and their fall, even bigger, but you're not shocked. You saw it coming, way before anyone else did. You felt something was wrong from the start. You saw through their fake smiles. You felt the tension in their words. You tried to tell people. You tried to speak up. But back then they said you were overthinking, said you were too sensitive, too negative, too intense. Now even their closest followers are stepping back, quietly, slowly, because no one wants to be standing next to a building that's falling. Nobody wants their name linked to a mess this big. So one by one people are distancing themselves, acting like they didn't know, acting like they weren't part of it. But you knew, you always knew. You watched them pull strings, watched them create their fake kingdom, one lie at a time. They called it leadership, they called it guidance, but it wasn't. It was control, it was fear, fear of what would happen if the truth ever came out. And now it has. It didn't just come out, it grew, it took root, it's blooming into something they can't hide from anymore. And maybe you're wondering, why didn't anyone listen to me? Why did I have to go through all that alone while they thrived off lies? That's how it usually works. Truth doesn't come in shouting, it grows underground, quiet, unseen. But when it finally breaks through, no one can ignore it. The people who doubted you are watching now, watching everything unfold exactly the way you said it would. Watching the tower of lies fall in slow motion. To all the chosen ones, don't miss what this moment is really showing you. You're not just watching people fall, you're seeing proof that you were right. You're seeing the truth you carried get its spotlight. Everything you went through in silence is now being shouted out in the open. This isn't about revenge. It's about the energy finally balancing out after all the fake power, after all the fake loyalty. The truth is finally loud enough to be heard by everyone. They were so confident they'd never be caught, so sure their lies would hold, so wrapped up in their little group of enablers. But nothing built on tricks can stand when the truth starts moving. And now the truth is here, and it's not slowing down. This isn't just a loss for them, it's a collapse of their name, their energy, their fake story. This kind of fall leaves marks. This kind of exposure takes years to come back from, if they ever can. Even the ones who once stood next to them are now pretending they never knew them. That's what's happening. Watch them panic. Watch them delete posts. Watch them rewrite history and back away slowly. Because the loyalty they had wasn't real. It was based on lies, on fear, on selfish gain. And when the truth shows up, all of that disappears. Now take a breath, let that all sink in. You're seeing the results of truth being ignored for too long. You're seeing what happens when the universe finally steps in, when the chosen stop apologizing for being different. They tried to erase your voice, tried to flip the whole story, tried to act like they were the victims. But now the story has flipped itself. And this ending, it's nothing like what they planned. No more hiding behind fake concern. No more pretending to be the good ones. The weight of their choices has crushed the fantasy. And now the only thing left standing in the wreckage is you, still rising. Thanks for watching. We will see you in the next video. Until then, take care and goodbye.